Today we're going to talk about why I quit my job. A job that was paying £60,000 a year, a job that was secure, so no chance of being made redundant, no chance of losing my job. Why would I quit at such a time like this? At a time where we could be going into recession in the UK, at a time where energy bills are up. Why would I quit my job at such a time? Let's talk about it, but before, let's go back a little bit. So at the time of this recording, I'm 37, so 37 years old. I've been working since the age of 16, and on my 16th birthday, I started in McDonald's. So that was my first job, 16th birthday in McDonald's, and I remember this very clear. My first job was to clean the lobby, all right, to go into the toilets and clean. That was my first job. We progressed. I've worked as a busser, I've worked in call centres, I've worked in sales, and as we fast forward, in the last 12 years, working for a company, started off in a call centre, so taking calls, progressed to team leader, and then to sales manager. So that was my last role. So why did I quit? Why would I quit? So for me, it comes down to a few things, all right. And this is, what I want for this particular place is to be really upfront and honest about what were the reasons for quitting. And I think the fundamental reason is growth. So growth was a key factor for me, and not having the ability to grow into the next position. So my ambition was always to go to head of sales. So I was sales manager, and head of sales was my next vision. But in that particular job, I was never going to get there. Why was I never going to get there? I think development is very crucial, and a lot of corporate places, and you can't say all, but for the most part, there's no chance to progress, to develop, to help with your growth, to really get a good, strong development plan, and to say, all right, look, what is it you're trying to do? How are we going to get there? And not just put the plan together and just say, all right, cool, go and do it then, but to actually give a bit of hand holding, hold your hand and get it done. And that didn't happen when I was working. I'm a very ambitious person, I like to keep moving, and I do get bored very easily. So that was one of the reasons. I think I started my TikTok journey last year. So last year I started my TikTok journey, and I first started with, much to your amazement, with fitness videos. So I was like, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go and I'm gonna go around every ground in the UK, and I'm just gonna to every football ground in the UK, and I'm just gonna do push-ups or do something crazy and just capture that. I made one video, it got 1,000 views. I was like, oh, I'm onto something. But then I realized, I was like, nah, actually, I don't want to do fitness. I've got chicken arms and chicken legs. I haven't got the chest for it. Let's just cut that out. Let's just get rid of that. So I was like, all right, what do I want to do? I want to be a DJ. So what I did, so in April, I actually started TikTok, and it was going really, really well. Really, really well. Get a lot of love, a lot of help and support. And what you'd also find in the corporate world, it's very hard to get that support. Very hard for people don't really want to help you. It's very much about people backstabbing, and I found that a lot in a lot of jobs, not just the previous one, but backstabbing, because everyone's trying to climb on top of each other is one. And just in terms of getting to the next level, it's very difficult. Looking to role models and looking at, all right, cool, who are my role models in the company that I'm working for? There's no one that looks like me, there's no one that speaks like me, and there's no one really willing to help. That is just a fact. So we started TikTok, and what you found is that it was a complete reverse. You actually found that people reached out, wanted to help, they were asking. So I was confused. I was like, I'm not used to people wanting to help me. There was just a lot of confusion. A lot of good traction on TikTok in terms of the amount of people watching, supporting, willing to help, and it really grew very quickly, to the point where I was probably working. So in the mornings, I'll start before work and do a couple of hours. I'll get on my lunch break and I'll do an hour at lunch. I'll finish my job, and in the evenings, I'll do 4 or 5 hours. So I'll still do maybe about 7 to 8 hours a day on TikTok whilst having a job. Very tough, right? Very difficult to do when you're trying to balance everything. So it kind of came to a crossroads where I had to make a decision. My decision was, look, do I stay in this job but I'm not happy? I'm not happy because fundamentally I can't grow anymore, and that can happen in any workplace. And do I just take a chance on TikTok, on the social media platforms, and just see. And you only live once. That's the reality. You only live once. We only get to do this once. So I was like, look, it's time. I've worked for the last 20 odd years. Let's just give it a go. So that's fundamentally why I quit my job. You know, all about trying to grow, develop, do my own thing, be my own boss, make my own decisions, and try and build something and learn as well. And try and see, look, how can we support people moving forward? You know, what can I do to help people? Looking at the corporate world and how it runs, as we build and grow our team and we build into our own little business, how do I want to look after people? Like, how do I want to treat people? What have I learned? And I think for me, you know, treating people with dignity, with respect, and trying to help them grow is fundamentally important. And that's something that I would like.